Hello everybody and welcome back to Kinlaig. So we're just finishing off the last pass on the onion field, and then this is all ready just to be lifted. So that's been a brilliant job to be able to get this done now. So let's get to the end there and we can turn off and lift up, and we can now go and get these washed off, I believe. Get these washed off and then packed away. I am just going to do that. So I know it's on left dropping, but it keeps these two back bits in, so it's all a bit looks all a bit nicer. Right, let's try and get this washed off. It's a 70% dirt. Well, that's the first one done, or the back one done, and then we'll go do the front one. Right, I don't. Oh, okay. What's happened here? That's interesting. Right, let's get into here and let's find somewhere to put these both, because we're not running out of room, but we are. I think put it there in front of the rolls. We're not running out of room at all. It's just trying to make sure that whatever we do put in, we're not putting it in the way of something that we need to take out. So the likes of the rolls. That's terrible driving. The likes of putting this in front of the rolls, I think, will be completely fine because we won't need those out. What am I doing with steering wise? You can tell it's early on a morning. Right, let's try again. This is the way we wanted to go with it. And then if we can get that in there nice enough, we should be able to get the front one just in between that and the sprayer, I would hope. Just in this gap here. That fits perfectly. Right, we can now pull this back. So I don't think we actually need anything that's in there now. Maybe it's the load all just for moving some bales, but it all depends what's happening. Oh yeah, that's still there from the previous episode. Right, where is... This is what I want. So we're going to go do one load again of potatoes, and then I'll bring you back. Well, that's put a big dent into our potato field. So I am just going to empty, and then I'm going to get that last little. Oh, we're only just shy of there. Get that last little slither, and there's little bits and pieces that we keep missing all over, and I think that's either because of the ground deformation or it's because of the tatey rows that it just lifts us out. Because it was especially prominent the first run down the middle that we did. Well, I say down the middle, through the bulk of the crop. You can see there's 1, 2, 3 bits there, if not 4 bits. There was loads of bits that we'd missed. So that definitely can't have been down to us and our driving. But right, let's just try and get, so likes of this slither, those bits there, those bits there. Let's just try and have a bit of a tidy up, and then it's just that last little bit to do. But I think once we've then tipped that into our production, I think we'll go have a look at the canola field. Need to make sure we have a run up at this, otherwise we'll get stuck. So there we go. So let's empty those potatoes into there. And yeah, here, it's interesting just how many little bits you do actually miss. Which, if you were to look at the field on itself, like in the field itself, you'll find it hard to find those bits. But anyways, let's just go to our productions and to potatoes. So potato chips, we want to change this to selling. We might as well look. So the young fish food, they've got fish food, so they're producing and they are distributing. So we're probably, when we find the offshore one, yes, the young fish food, we want to change this to selling again. Get some money in from there. The offshore should be selling, yes. The oil mill is completely out, so we are going to go do some canola now, so that's fine. And the fish food needs... What do we need for? We're doing wheat. So wheat, soybeans, canola. Yeah, so we need the canola to go into the fish food factory and as well as into the oil mill. And then we should get some onions lifted and get them into that production there. So let's take this back and we can unload. I love that, how the shuttering's there moving. Little details like that sort of bring maps to life, to life in my opinion. But right, we'll go empty off the harvester. Okay, that would have been nice if the indicator was a bit more clearer. We'll go empty off the harvester and then we'll go jump in and sort the combine out so we can get some canola lifted and start getting our other productions going. But right, this, ooh, that's going far too quick. And then it's definitely one more time lapse in here and this is done. So I think after the canola field, we will come straight down back to the potatoes and we will finish them off. I probably should have gone for a smaller header. Because these fields, obviously, they're not massive. And a header that could have fit through the gates without having to drive on crops would have been a lot better for this. Because obviously we can get in fairly easily with tractor and trailer, well, tractor and header trailer, like that. I think we may have, do we just clip a little bit here? Yeah, probably. But obviously when we now come in with the combine, this is when we're going to cause some damage. And interesting. Well, they stopped for, they can't be stopped there for the combine. The combine's well off the road and out of the way. If that starts moving now, that's shocking. Oh well. Right, so we can unfold and get this put on eventually. There we go. And yeah, it's reverted back to one headland again. I would like 2, please. 2. Let's put that on and we'll just get cracking. Get cracking into here. We are going to have to sort out our JCB, what's happening up there, because that's not the greatest. So that just now leaves the field of soybeans to go with the harvester. So that is brilliant. Right, we'll just head over here, unload into the trailer. Then, like I say, we'll put a load into the oil mill, into the fish food factory, and then anything that's left. Oh, to be fair, I better check the storage of them all, because we're not inundated with canola. So let's just have, so the fish food factory, okay, we'll go there first, that's 5,000 litres, and to do canola oil, yeah, 96. That would have been a very bad error if we went to the oil mill first, emptied it all into there, and had nothing for the for the fish food factory. How close is this going to get to being a full load, or are we going to be over? Oh, amazing. I don't know how much is still left in the combine, but to get 31,900 litres is a brilliant start. First load going into here. And my next... Oh, what have I... Oh, I drove into the production. My next worry then is if we don't have enough canola, how are we going... We won't be able to make enough oil, which means all the potatoes that we put into the factories. Because obviously we're not going to sell everything. You know, I'm not going to go sell all the products, all that sort of thing. I just want to see what the bank balance is when we come to the end of this series. But yeah, so all the potatoes that will be left in there, not doing anything if we run out of oil. So yeah, it'll be interesting just to see what happens on that front. Right, let's tip these into here. Whatever is left in the combine, have I got any in storage, any canola in storage before we do anything? No. So I will just have a look at what's in these barns. And the onion field, what I'm toying with that is the production works very, very fast, the onion packing production. So I think I'll just lift 50,000 litres, put it into there, and then stop lifting after that. So we can use this storage, because that one's empty. I believe this one must have 3 products in, hence why it stopped. So wheat, barley, and soybeans. Yeah, so this, the canola wants to go into this shed. Unless there is some in this shed over here. No, so over here we've got oats and a small pile of potatoes. But right, let's get back to the combine and get that fully unloaded. What we're going to guess? 50 litres? Almost 280 litres. So right, that's not even worth putting into storage, so we'll just put that straight into the oil mill. Like so. Right, we will take this to the onion field. We can leave that on the side there, and then I think let's just get down, let's get back to the potatoes, and we'll finish off getting them lifted and done. And that means we can bring the harvester back up to this top and reconfigure it so that we can start lifting some onions. And if we get, like I say, 50,000 litres of onions lifted, you know, I don't know how much of the field it's going to be, but we can get 50,000 litres lifted, we can leave it at that and then move on another month, because there's no need for us to do all of these onions in this month. But right, let's find this. Yes, we're already empty there. So right, let's get cracked on and get the potato harvest finished. We're never going to make it, are we? I think it's when it gets to 95%, I think is when it all stops. So there we go. Oh, 96%, because obviously you've still got potatoes on the conveyor still going through into the tank. Right, let's get this emptied, and then I think just off camera I'll just get the remaining little bits. Oh, I've overshot that, haven't I? I hope at some point giants fix that if you look at the potatoes coming through here, they look very, very flat. Well, they are very, very flat. There's no two ways about it. Whilst when you look at the onions, which was part of obviously the Highland DLC, you know, they're not flat at all. They look awesome when they're on the machine. Obviously, they look a bit rubbish when they come off the machine. You know, they've got that sort of flat texture again. But it'd be nice to see them implement those things onto everything. It's like you've got the working in the Mercedes. This needs a wash. In the Mercedes, you've got the working screens. It's like it would be nice if they did it, you know, throughout the whole game, you know, to give you the working screens and all that sort of thing. But anyways, let's get this unloading into here. We can then, once that's in, there's not a lot to go into there. Once that's in, we can get this tipped into our potato processing factory. And then that's us done for down here, especially for the time being. And then we'll make our way back up to the onion field. We probably shouldn't have turned this way around to go in the field. It's not an off-road lorry, is this? Yeah, then we'll take the harvester back up. We'll get the front topper taken off, so then we can do onions. And there's a car crash up there. I can't remember, did I set the potatoes to sell? I'm sure yeah, potatoes selling. So let's just have a look. They want to be selling, but there's no onions in. That's selling. Oil mill is distributing. I need to activate that first. Potatoes. Is that how many potatoes we've got in there? 105,224 litres. That's not a bad deal. Corey's got water. That's completely rammed and that's distributing, so that's good. Oh, oats. What's the rest of oats? Oh, we need sunflowers. I was about to say, I've got oats. I can bang them into there. Stonemasons. Right, so everything is fine on that front. Let's get you up to the yard. So I'll leave this one on this side. So obviously we've got the tractor and trailer over there. We've got our lorry here. That makes a bit of sense to me. Let's now... Well, I can look to start putting this away, because when's the soybean field going to be ready? I reckon we've still got 2 months until that's ready. But that is, by the soybeans and collecting the onions, that's all our field's done. So right, let's get this folded up. We'll put our dancing header back onto the trailer, and then this can all just stay here for the time being. Oh, we've overshot that. Put that onto there. Where is this? Let's get this folded up and we'll take this back to the yard. I'm going to see if we can get away without refueling this, because I don't know what it was on when we started the potatoes, but it would save us a bit of money, because obviously for us money is very, very tight at the moment. Right, into there. Onions, please. Customize. Obviously, it's not going to cost us anything because we have already paid for it. Which, to be fair, I think that to do the onions is free. That's the base game. And then it's £30,000 to do it for the potatoes, I believe. Right. Let's start by going this way around, so we can start to get it unfolded again. Because it doesn't have the biggest working width, does this? Right, let's drop that down and let's get on with this. And I think onions is a fairly, I think crop wise it fills up fairly fast, if I remember from last time we did a harvest. So I have gone a lot further than what I intended to do. So we do have tractor and trailer there full, and we have the Mercedes over there that's full as well. So I'm just going to fill this up, and then this can just wait for the next episode, because we'll be looking at moving on definitely 2 months until the soybeans are ready to harvest, so that we can lift them, as long as everything else is all okay. Right, let's just turn around. There won't be much more to go in here, because that's just with that sort of filling, it's at 91%. So I'll make a start going down this way. And yeah, it's becoming a very tidy field, which is nice. And I completely forgot, I was thinking to myself, like, the yield of these onions is huge, but we've also got to factor in that there's 3 rows into 1 in each of these, so that's probably why. So right, let's leave that there. And let's try tab. Well, we've got to the Mercedes first. That's 39,500 litres. Is that the same as what the trailer is? I'm sure the trailer's got 30 odd, or is that 32? I'll just remember that one, and then when we get into the tractor and trailer to tip, we'll see what that one is. So this is 39,500. Don't watch what I'm about to do. Well, that's got that out of the way for us. And if I remember rightly, the back doors on here can push you out of the trigger, because if we go to there... Okay, that was not ideal. Let's try again, shall we? Is that going to be slightly better from this angle? Okay, that's a lot better from this angle. So that was 39,500. Let's find this. Oh, 31,900. Okay, I got that terribly wrong then, didn't I? Right, we'll get this over there, because we'll be able to fit all of the Mercedes trailer in, and a quarter of these can go in. So it means the Mercedes can come straight back down here, ready for the next episode. Right, let's just hop out and move this back to the field. To be fair, we might as well empty this out, because it is full. So we'll just pull that under. Don't get stuck on the onions, please. Right, leave that there doing that. Let's find this, and we'll get this one tipping. And then I would imagine if we do rest, as long as all the animals are fine and we do rest overnight, it should hopefully take the majority of what's in this trailer. So let's tip that in. And that's going to leave us with... So it took about a third of the trailer. Now let's go productions. That's definitely on selling, yes. And that's full. So we'll leave that as it is. I should really just have a look at, because we haven't been... I know we've rested there too. Are these completed yet? Or do they need anything else? I would say they're completed. So in the next episode... we will finalise getting these looking something like, and they should be bringing us in a fair amount of income. Oh, there's one not done. What does this require? Missing 1 planks long. I am sure we have some over here. I do quite enjoy doing this bit of a slalom through here, especially with this machine. You know, I do really like it. I just wish there was, for 22, I know for the wheel loaders, it's taken the whole thing, for the wheel loaders there was a mod of where when you turned, your camera went with it, so sort of your eyes went with the front, which that was very, very handy. So right, planks long, required material. Well, this is nowhere near, this is a bit behind. Let's just speed up time a little bit. Come on, let's get us down to see where we're going with it. Still saying planks long. Why is that not changing? Why is it still on 2 litres? Oh, anyways, if it doesn't want to change, don't want to change. But that's brilliant news, seeing these all done. And like I say, I want to try and make them look somewhat decent, because I know if I was a paying customer, that's not the best of looking best luck at your sites. But anyways, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.